a long time, it has been widely accepted in clinical practice that insertion torque depends largely on cortical bone and that underdrilling is required in low bone density conditions. Let's see how this concept was formed. Following the bone density classification by Lekholm and Zarb in 1985, bone quality became a key factor in determining primary stability and surgical protocols. Subsequent studies, including those by Senerby and Roos, reported higher failure rates in low-density bone, particularly in the maxilla and type 4 bone. Within this context, cortical bone with its higher density came to be regarded as the main contributor to insertion torque and initial stability. Accordingly, various clinical approaches were developed to control stability based on cortical bone. Clinically, an insertion torque of around 35 to 45 Newton has been accepted as a balance between stability and biological safety. In cases with thin cortical bone and low cancellous bone density, underdrilling has been used to enhance primary stability. In contrast, when cortical bone is dense, cortical drilling or tapping is used to reduce excessive compression. Ultimately, these techniques converge on a cortical bone-centered strategy for achieving or regulating primary stability. Is it truly necessary to rely on cortical bone? Where does primary stability actually come from? Brunsky described implant stability as a biomechanical phenomenon across the entire implant-bone interface. Freiberg et al. Showed that bone quality is closely related to stability and early failure, highlighting the role of trabecular bone density. Senerby and Meredith emphasized that primary stability results from bone density, implant design, and surgical technique, not cortical thickness alone. Taken together, primary stability is not limited to cortical bone, but is established throughout the entire bone structure, including cancellous bone. Cortical bone, even when thin, has high strength but low yield strain and a brittle failure pattern. Excessive compression can reduce blood flow and lead to compressive necrosis and crestal bone loss. So why has underdrilling been recommended in low-density bone? Rather than a biological principle, it is a surgical adaptation to limitations in implant design. In other words, primary stability has relied on bone compression. From this perspective, underdrilling is not a principle, but a consequence of design limitations. Therefore, the approach to achieving primary stability should be reconsidered. Cancellous bone has a several-fold higher yield strain than cortical bone and exhibits more compressible, deformation-tolerant behavior. It also has a richer blood supply, allowing for faster bone regeneration. Therefore, instead of relying on cortical compression, it is more rational to improve implant design to achieve broader engagement, including cancellous bone. Deepened knife thread design maintains the implant core diameter while increasing thread depth, even in low-density bone. It is designed to prevent direct contact between the fixture body and the bony wall, minimizing lateral compression while promoting broader bone engagement over a larger surface area, allowing for greater primary stability. As a result, primary stability is achieved not through cortical compression, but through balanced stress distribution across the entire bone-implant interface, reducing bone damage and improving predictability. Underdrilling is not a principle. Stability should come from design, not from compressing bone.